Hello everyone, we're almost done here. We're gonna do the last couple events here and then I think I'm gonna try parts of Eddie's challenge if our car isn't fast enough. And that's it really. Other than that, we should be pretty close to done. I will try to fully upgrade the RSX and then try out the prestige events because I actually want to see if it's possible to get gold in some of those. Because I know the gap between the RSR and whatever the second fastest car might be is a bit of a jump, but I don't know how much it is for drifting. Or actually, I think the other way around. I don't really know. We got some drift events and some race events. I mean, surprise, surprise. But yeah. So I think let's get to the Magnus race a bit later. I'm gonna do this one first. This might be a short episode because there's not a whole lot that we gotta do left. Man, this thing accelerates like crazy. I don't know why. I haven't. I guess I just haven't played the game in a while, and that's why it seems as such. They're kind of keeping up, but as soon as we get to straights, I start pulling just a little bit. A little bit tempted to farm money just to upgrade the Cayman as well. They're almost gone. Oh man, as you can see with the arrow catching up, these little corners, not really even, they're hardly corners at all, but still, that's, I'm always going to lose ground in them. And there goes the rubber banding AI. And honestly, I'm curious, do you guys actually care that much about rubber banding AI? Because games sometimes can get boring without it. I think rubber banding can work to a certain extent. I think you'd want to keep the race entertaining, but have like a target time that the AI is trying to get to, right? So let's say, so you can't just stay at the starting line and catch up. Oh, are you serious? That might warrant a restart. Oh, I actually I don't have to beat them. I just have to beat the time trial. I don't know why they didn't have a race event, but whatever, it's their game. See it? Oh wow! I was gonna make a comment about the rubber banding. Either Amy's AI crashed or was waiting, but then I just decided to end my life there and regenerate. But back to AI, right? So let's say the time trial is 4 minutes and 32 seconds. The AI, in theory, would have to beat that, I think, to be sensible. And suppose that you're doing a normal race event where you just have to win, right? They set a hidden time limit, and then you can rubber band, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 seconds faster or slower than that set time, depending on how fast you're going. If that idea is stupid, let me know, but I think that could work. Maybe that even is the way AI is designed to rubber band around, and I just haven't been paying attention or haven't tested it or something along those lines. Final race for build is done. This race, I remember Magnus, he really starts quite ahead and pulls away, and I just remember basically this race being you catch up to him and try to beat him rather than a fair start, but I think that adds to the challenge. See, and off he goes. You know, I really was not. Whoa, my bad, Magnus. What was I saying? Well, I guess now that means we win. I was saying that I really don't remember what I was saying. Today is just basically me and ADHD, and I don't actually have it, so don't mean to ruffle anyone's jimmies with that. Been doing a lot of studying and stuff. School ended, I guess, technically, but I am taking summer classes and have been for a bit. I'm a little exhausted, and I'm hoping this can kind of recharge the batteries. So I'm going to be saying a lot of stuff, starting tangents and then not finishing them. I didn't win that one? Why did it not? There he is. He's second. I passed him, and I guess we're doing that one again. I guess this is attempt number 2 for reasons I don't know. I'm just glad whatever happened now didn't happen when I was doing business or pleasure the first time I played this game on PS4 back in 2015. I don't know what I was doing. Now we really gotta play the catch-up game. Or not. See, that kind of rubber banding, I don't know how I feel about that. This race is short, man. Only 25 checkpoints. Normally, some of the later ones are like 50 or 70.
It was 1 times 70.
See, look, first place, finish the race, won it, so that completes the mission. And as soon as it's done, hopefully this time it'll actually say it. It doesn't. Normally it says mission complete or whatever. I think I broke the game. I really think I broke the game. Okay, let's go through these cutscenes, technically finish Outlaw and build and head back to the race, I guess.
Hey, I want to tell you something.
Did you see how dead he looked in his eyes? When your character gives him the handshake? You know what? I don't want to have another situation where we do the event and then nothing happens. So let's just do these last 2 drift events and end it there. I got this new external SSD so that, well, actually it's a bit of a complicated situation. Vegas on my computer, my desktop PC, is missing fonts and certain features, right? Despite both of them allegedly being fully updated. So, okay, to solve this problem, I'm just trying to focus as well. I edited on my laptop, and because it has the things that I use, which is really bizarre. In any case, while transferring files is a bit annoying because normally I just do it via USB, and I'm like, okay, if I get this external SSD, I can record from it, which I can, and then transfer it. Not only do you have to transfer the files from what's it called, the SSD itself to the laptop, because it should be fast enough to edit. It's a Sabrent Rocket Nano 512 gigabyte SSD. Yeah, and it goes through USB-C, and apparently it's supposed to have like a gigabyte per second transfer rate, and I don't even know. Maybe my own lack of knowledge and research means that I shouldn't have expected different, but I was only getting around 500 megabytes per second when I was transferring the file from the SSD itself to my laptop. My laptop has an NVMe SSD on it, so it should be fast enough. So really the only I guess bottleneck there was the actual SSD. And here's the thing, it makes sense for it to, why did I shift down there? It makes sense for the thing to hover around 500 megabytes per second when transferring stuff, because that's normally what most other external SSDs advertise. That's the speeds. However, I could be a complete idiot and I'm forgetting something, or I'm misinterpreting something, so if anyone can enlighten me in the comments, that would be appreciated. Yeah, and I can't really edit from it either, because I think the device itself, quote unquote, shuts off to save power. So anytime I'm editing something, and I go back to editing, it has to turn itself on, so I have to wait a brief second while it gets back to working. So it leaves a lot of, you're editing stuff, and then you I don't know, let's say you're listening to something and change the volume, you go back to it, and then it stutters. Sometimes it'll just stutter just in the midst. So I really don't know what's going on. Yeah, slightly disappointed, but regardless, way better than what I was doing before with the USB drive transferring the files. And it would have been nice to actually edit on my desktop computer. Yes, it would. Editing on a laptop is not cool, but you do what you can, and it's not a, this is still a project for fun. So I'm not I guess bothered by it to an extent. So yeah, that's been what's going on with my life. I also noticed that I can't really seem to drive while talking at the same time, because I usually rely on how loud the car is to know when to shift up, and with drifting, obviously there's a little bit different. And so yeah, sometimes I feel like my brain is a really powerful single core CPU. And with really fast RAM, but like half a gigabyte, you know what I'm saying? Can't do a whole lot else except focus on one particular specific thing. Believe it or not, I actually had trouble with this event the first time I did it. I'd get enough points easily enough, but I'd never be in the time limit, which is a little odd. I used an Evo 9, surprise, surprise, and I think I already mentioned this, but I don't know. I might have not. But yeah, I do remember this event quite a bit, and it'll be interesting because that was a close to maxed out Evo, and this RSX still has around 500 horsepower. You know, it's weird to think about, but a lot of the reasons why I like certain cars is because I experienced them in certain games. I used to really not care for the Lamborghini Huracan that much, but then I used it so much for drifting in this game, and I know that sounds just absurd, completely absurd, that the reason I like the Lamborghini Huracan, not only was it because I used it in a video game, no, I used it for drifting. I drifted a Lamborghini Huracan, and if you've played this game, then it wasn't, you know, like, it's not like Forza drifting, no, it wasn't smooth, it's crab walking and really jankety, but still really fun. So it's odd to think about, but that is how I now like the Lamborghini Huracan. I had to get used to that thing. Sure, trying to get decent scores and just really if you're just trying to have fun on this game with drifting. Okay, we already beat the target. Now it's, can we just get to the finish line fast enough? I think it might actually be slower with trying to save time. And whoa. Yeah, exactly. If I just tried to drift normally, but with some mindfulness as to how fast I'm going, I'd probably be a bit faster, because there is a pretty noticeable brake boost, or drift boost, sorry. Oh, I'm a little bit worried, because Ken Block seems to be really far ahead. Okay, I see his arrow, but still haven't caught up to him. And this section's a little weird to control. No, come on. Okay, okay then. See what I mean? This game is really bizarre. This section, I've never taken it fast in my entire life, and I likely never will. We're less than a mile away, and we've got a full minute left, so I think we're okay. Now that was a nice corner. I don't know how I did that though. I seem to have slightly started the drift and then not fully got into it. Not like that though. That was terrible. There we go. That's what I want to have happen. Sucks that I'm kind of figuring this out towards the end, but we have 30 seconds to spare. You know, that really begs the question, what was my problem when first doing this event? Attempt number 3, and not because I lost the race, despite my terrible performance to that corner, but because the game does not seem to recognize that I've finished the event. You know, is this really going to be the stopping point? Holy cow, that's a lot of traffic. Is this actually going to be where it ends? Not because I couldn't do it from a lack of skill, or from the tuning not being sufficient, or rather the lack of tuning not being sufficient to complete this game. Or is it really going to be that the game is just broken, and because of how broken it is, I cannot finish the game? You know, if that's the case, I'm just gonna be honest. This series has helped me see the game in more of a positive light and a negative light. Positive light because, hey, grip driving overall, I know I flip-flop between my opinion. If you have the right car and you know what you're doing, it's not the end of the world terrible, right? It's pretty bad, but it's not, I don't know, it's not game breaking, because I can, so far, according to right now, I can still finish the game with it. But, I'd say as I run into trees. But, if I can't finish the game, because I'm finishing an event and the game doesn't recognize it, then that is an issue, right? So let's see. Less than half a mile away. One more checkpoint. And I'm hoping I can actually finish the game. See, first place. Event says to win the race. Let's even just wait out this minor cutscene. I guess the only positive is that I'm getting 12 grand each time. You can farm money, but then never beat the game. Let's see. Finally, success. Mission completed. Never would have thought that would have happened. Alright, so let's see. We've got just the speed branch, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, behold, the worst cutscene in any video game, any piece of media known to mankind. This shall be studied in generations, centuries ahead of time from now, at this point, so that we can see what it is that causes this in its essence to be so disgusting. Study it and prevent it. When am I gonna get the next race event? Or the next notification, or the next thing? I wanna, like, let's hurry it up here, please. I'm just sitting here waiting. I'm in Need for Speed purgatory here. And apparently I finished the crew outlaw despite not having finished the last 2 events in the game, which are crew events. And I'm just gonna go to the garage and then maybe head back out, see if that works. Nope, I might actually have to back out and head back in. That's gonna be annoying. Come on. Oh wait, no, I think I get Magnus's car? No? Almost? Maybe? Finally, there we go.
Hey man, it's me, Mike.
Don't care. Just tell me what to do. Yes, that's what I expected. It's time for an underwhelmingly easy event. You know, I remember when I first drove Magnus's vehicle in Need for Speed 2015 on PS4, and I thought to myself, so, this is clear evidence that cars can handle real nicely. Little did I know that the RSR would be overpowered. And little did I also know that the game's collision physics are, do not mimic reality in any sense. But back to what I was saying, you actually can, only later realized that you can actually make cars handle quite nicely. It's just the issue was, I didn't quite have the skill to possess it, and it's easier to make a car that's overpowered, feel nice in this game than something else. You know, I sound really negative when I say things about this game, but there still is, like, this charm to it that I can't put my finger on. It's just, like, I might be ranting, but I'm having a good time. Well, that was bound to happen at some point. I feel like I could do this half asleep. And I feel like everyone watching this could too. There's really nothing to say. This, last race for speed. I mean, honestly, the few Magnus races that you do, they are pretty entertaining. They do, if you don't know what you're doing, they do provide a good challenge. And for me, originally, it was a place where I got stuck. Couldn't keep going, but, and as we've seen, I was just really bad at the game. But even this, I mean, it doesn't matter what level of skill. Like, even like, I can afford to make a bunch of mistakes. What they should have done, honestly, so I finished in around 550. If I really worked at it, I probably could have done it in 531 instead of 631. I think they were a little too generous with the timing there. Oh, there's the cops. It really sucks that you can't ram into the cops in this game because they don't really have their own health. But, I mean, it doesn't really take a whole lot of effort to get away from them either. It also doesn't take a lot of effort to kill yourself. Finally. Alright, let's head back to the garage. Eventually we'll get the prompts for the next event. Time to fully upgrade the Ferrari, because I think we'll need to. Hopefully, we are leveled up just enough to actually do that. We're level 42. Let's see. Ooh, we unlocked something. Yeah, we unlocked some things almost immediately. Huh. Okay, there's that. Not a whole lot we can do. Couple upgrades. Can do a couple things. Put nitrous. Missed out on that. Yeah, it looks like that's it. Not huge differences, but a little under 900 horsepower, and that quarter-mile time tells me that is about as fast as many cars that have been fully upgraded in this game. So we are of the level that the game likely expects us to be. So let's, at least for acceleration-wise. So now we wait. Any moment now. There we go. Don't care. Just give me the race. Tell you what, if we can't do it in 5, maybe 10 attempts, I don't know, then we call it a day, and then do Eddie's challenge. Special one just on Eddie's challenge, and a little bit more grinding off camera to get to 50, get all the upgrades, and try again. You know, I don't really know how many attempts I'm going to give it. There's a rare chance that I might actually do it first time, but when I first played this game, I was around level 45, I want to say. When I got to this point, I had a Lotus Exige, didn't know how to tune it all, and was quite a bit stuck on this race. But actually what happened was my car wasn't really upgraded to its full capacity, so I was stubborn. I wanted to beat it so badly the way it was. I ended up going back, upgrading it, and then beating it. And then the next event was not even that bad. Chances are that since I have upgraded this car, it should be manageable. Should also mention, I think that was before the AI got patched the second time, because it got patched from beta to launch, and then after launch. So I think because it's been patched, you know what? I didn't even consider that. That could be the reason why I had so much trouble with certain aspects of the game. I know some of my peers, you know, Niner Fan, Cam, CJ, the rest, all in Vermin Sermon, they mentioned how, you know, yeah, component parts isn't actually that bad. People really just need to pay attention to tuning, and I think I can agree. It was a combination of me sucking and the AI, but the AI wasn't a massive problem. They're not even close. Sometimes I feel like the AI is just inconsistent, and that because like look at this corner, right? Horrible. But I think there was some validity in me being stuck. I don't know. It's a combination of a lot of different things. You know, I only had a good challenge a couple times this whole series, and I was actually looking forward to being it being a bit more challenging, but that's both a good and a bad thing. A bad thing because it's less fun, but good thing because it shows you really could have beaten the game. It's not unplayable. Grip is not unplayable, right? And it's just good enough, or in this case, most certainly good enough. And maybe my car is just too good. I mean, too good as in you know, look at the RSR, and you know, the F40 is almost OP in heat, so you know what I'm saying? Could be just one of those really good cars. Maybe I hop in the Porsche and then now I'm having a problem. Because what if the truth is, yeah, you can fully beat this game if you have a Porsche or you know, another rear engine car, another mid-engine car, or like the Ferrari or the RSR and whatnot, but you know, you can't just take any car you want, upgrade it, smack it to, set it to full grip, and then beat the game. I guess that question might still remain. I think maybe the game messed up a little bit, because why was I put so far ahead at the very beginning of the race? Because I bet if it placed me with them, they would be maybe behind, but a little bit. Well, that was anticlimactic. I feel like the only thing that was actually worth the hype was business or pleasure, and some parts of component parts. Just give me the race. Just give me the race, please. Just give me the race. Here, let's do this. Let's do this little speed run, if you will. Actually, these might be challenging to do with full grip. Also, gotta remember, you can't hit any sides. As soon as you run into something, it's over. Why do I say things before things happen? Well, that's it. That's the end of the series. We won, guys. We did it. Whoa, alright. That section required a bit more testing, I think. A bit more time in the quality assurance. And, you know, that also begs the question, who did QA test this game? Did someone QA test this game? Did they consider quality assurance? Maybe after seeing YouTube videos of cars flailing about in midair, falling through the map, and bouncing about, hitting trees and landing 270 degrees to the left of where they were initially hitting it at. Perhaps then they thought, maybe this game isn't finished. Side note, Burnout Paradise Remastered for Switch is coming out soon, and I know you're gonna think that I'm stupid for doing this and saying this, but I bought it, okay? I couldn't help myself. The more I thought about it, I think Paradise is probably my second favorite game of all time, behind Need for Speed Carbon. Subjectively, but I have reasons. I have reasons for it being high up there. At least top 5. And, you know, before you call me crazy, you're allowed to. go ahead. Because honestly, no normal person would buy the same game. Let's see. Once on PS3, then again on PC, then again for PC remastered, and now Switch remastered. Yeah, and no sane person would buy the same game 4 times. But I'm not sane. I am clinically insane, and I need help. And my addiction to Burnout Paradise will never be quenched. Honestly, now at this point, we just kind of wait. We just kind of wait till I make more mistakes like that, or till the race ends. Just kind of sitting here and you know, twiddling our thumbs. It's so disappointing that this game was not more challenging. I will upgrade the RSX, try out some prestige events, and also give this car a drift setup. See if I can get some of the race prestige events too, you know? Or is it really restricted to the Huracan and the RSR, with a few events being possible in the Hot Rod? I think I'll do that. And again, I'll probably forget and then reiterate the next episode. And again, I'm not going to go full grip on prestige mode. That will be impossible, because it's basically designed for you to use the RSR. I will absolutely, by no means, be able to do prestige mode with this car with full grip. However, with drifting, we could probably get close. I still don't fully believe that I'll be able to get gold with this. I bet some people out there have figured it out, or, you know, are good enough with tunes. Because I used to think I was, like, really good at this game, and then I compared my times to what the internet was able to accomplish, and then I slowly realized not so good after all. But you know, that's good. It was a humbling experience, and I learned something. You know, don't put stuff out there on the internet that you can't back up. And the others who had way better times, they could. That's why they did have their times out there on the internet. They knew what they were doing. Regardless, I think for fun, we should see if we can at least get silver on prestige mode events with this car, but likely we will not be able to get gold, and that's completely okay. That's completely okay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the main character is a furry. And all that stuff. Wait, let me skip this so I can actually talk without the music. So yeah. Off camera, gonna finish Eddie's challenge. Get cars, get upgrades. Fully upgrade the stuff. Then, full grip my way through the last event on Eddie's challenge. And see if this and the RSX can do prestige mode events. And, yeah, that will basically round it up. So I guess you can beat the game with a full grip car. And there's no need for you to have to really tune. I didn't do that. Well, whatever. I was actually expecting to run into more problems, and really now the question is, could you have done this before the AI patches? And honestly, I think it still would be possible, albeit a bit more difficult. Other than that, yeah, we're done. Let me know what else you want to see, either for the bonus episode or anything else in general. Because now that this is going to be done, I think just gonna keep doing Vermin Sermon, look at some other possible things to do in the background. By the end of this month, I will start being a bit more busy, so who knows if I can keep up with that. We'll figure stuff out eventually. But yeah, that has been it. That was, that wasn't that bad. It was honestly, it was a bit fun. There are some challenging parts, some parts where I had to really think about the decisions I was making. Made a good use of my money, because you could normally finish this game with like 800 grand, and we were, because you had to buy, upgrade, test out some different cars. Overall, I had a good time, despite all the complaining and all the random stuff. The rants. It was a good time, and also I guess that really shows that it's not game breaking. It's not unplayable. The game is playable with full grip handling. You just have to put a little bit of thought into it, and yeah, that's all I gotta say really. See you guys in the next one, which should be the bonus episode. And I have no idea when that's going to happen. Finding time to record this is a little bit iffy. Not even because I'm so busy, but because of time management. Just being honest here. Just being completely honest. Because of time management, this is a tricky. But I'll figure something out. And yeah.